We were extremely disappointed in the end of the game, and I told the team in our punt game, our special teams, that's my responsibility. I didn't see that coming, and ultimately at the end there was some plays they made, there were some plays we made, but our inability to punt the ball like we needed to based on just proper execution is what cost us the game, and so we'll get that cleaned up for the next game.
All right, we'll open it up for questions. Again, grab a microphone. Raise your hand, Bob. Second row.
Bob Berry, KFOR, the NBC in Oklahoma City. Mike, could you talk about just the overall effort? I mean, you know, you guys were sizable underdogs. You came out and you had a chance to win the game on several occasions. Were you surprised by that, or did you fully expect the kind of effort you got from your guys tonight?
Well, you don't ever know what to expect with so many young players on the field. But there was not any fear in any of their eyes. And we had tremendous leadership from our veteran players, and our freshmen played. They played hard, and they made some mistakes, but they made mistakes going full speed. And that's the future of your program. The guys didn't have the deer in the headlights look at all. You know, we played a great football team, but they stood toe-to-toe. The disappointing part of it is that's the third game in a row we've lost. With 5 minutes to go, we had a chance to win. Same thing to Cotton Bowl, same thing to Oklahoma. And so we have to find a way to finish. As coaches, we got to look, we got to research, come up with a way. Myself, starts with me, staff, and all the way down to the players. But I'm very proud of our team, the way they competed, and they didn't back down from anybody.
Coach Mac Engel, Fort Worth Star-Telegram, do you see the benefit of playing a game like this so early on, or would you rather avoid these kind of opponents in non-conference schedule in the future?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about scheduling. I'm not so sure that you want to jump on the returning national champion in preseason. But, you know, there's always discussions that we have and try to find out what's best for our team based on the maturity and the leadership that we have going into that season.
You can raise your hand if you have questions, front row.
Mike, Kyle Frederickson with the Oklahoman. You know, you got some big plays out of J.W. Walsh tonight, but also a few mistakes. How would you grade his performance?
Oh, I thought he played pretty good. You know, and obviously, I think if you look at both sides, both quarterbacks made some plays, and then both quarterbacks made some mistakes. And I'm not trying to – Jameis Winston's a great player. I'm not trying to say the way, but when you're competing in a game like we had tonight, there's going to be some good plays, there's going to be some bad plays.
All right, front row.
John Helsley with the Oklahoman. Mike, there was a lot of talk about Tyreek in the preseason, and you didn't shoot it down. Obviously, you guys felt like you had something special there, and you feel like we saw that tonight?
Well, we know he's fast. We've confirmed that because those guys chasing him are fast. And he competed. You know, it all comes down to competition, and he was known as a great track athlete that has had success in football. And it's just one game for him, but he certainly was willing to stand toe-to-toe. And that's what it takes. I mean, you got to have guys that can compete. He's just blessed with tremendous speed and ability, and so I was proud of the way that he competed, and our team kind of rallied around him. I thought our offensive staff did a great job of using him in certain ways. Had a really good plan. The 3 plans that we had since May, I thought were really good. Again, we failed to execute punt, but other than that, without watching tape, I don't see a lot of areas that me as a head coach would be disappointed in the game plans that we had going into the game.
Second row, Wendell.
Mike, down 17-0, what did you feel like changed for your all's team that got you back in the ball game?
Well, three offensive linemen playing for the first time ever in their college career. And I think the first quarter, the other team was really strong and really fast, and I don't really know how you prepare them for that. And they settled down, and they started to adjust to the strength and the speed of their down guys, and they got a little better as the game went on.
Second row. Name and affiliation again, please.
Bob Berry, K4, the NBC in Oklahoma City. 38 was all over the field. Emmanuel Ogbah, if you could kind of tell us about him and what you saw from the sidelines and then how he played tonight.
Well, you know, we've talked in preseason, and I felt very good about our defensive front. We have some maturity, we have some depth, we have leadership, we have strength guys that have been in our program for a number of years, have been developed in our strength conditioning program, and he's got a chance to be a good player. As long as he continues to work hard, pay the price, he should get better and better each week.
Mike, Kyle Frederickson with the Oklahoman. You know, going into a season with so many questions about experience and everything like that, even though you lose this game, do you think it's a bit of a statement that you guys are able to hang so tough with the #1 team in the country?
I think the one thing we proved is that the young players and this team won't back down from anybody. But I go back to we had a chance to win with 5 minutes left, and we had the same opportunity in the Cotton Bowl and the same opportunity at the last game of the year. And so as a coaching staff, I really mean this, we have to find a way to come up with a plan. I don't know what that is. I'll take any recommendations anybody has if they work. And then we have to instill that in our players. So if you're asking if it's a moral victory. There's really no moral victories. You lose 80-10 or you lose whatever we lost, 37-31. It still is a loss. But what I had mentioned to you guys before the game and leading up for the month is that I needed the guys to play hard. I need them to understand and execute the game plan, and I need them to be physical and tough. And without watching tape, I'm going to say that they played that way tonight. And I go back to we have great leadership with our veteran players in game one. Still a long season. And then we had freshmen that were running down the field and playing hard. And I couldn't be any more proud of them because, you know, you think you're playing high school ball next year or last year, and then the next game you're playing against returning national champion. It's a little different.
All right, last couple questions. Front row, John.
John Helsley, the Oklahoman. Mike, you had the bad snap on the punt late. You had one earlier that sort of went to one of the upbacks. Can you just describe what that was? And it wasn't a design fake, I'm guessing.
You know, well, I'm not going to say. That's a good thought, John. You can tell you're a veteran guy. It was a fake, and it went bad. I don't have an answer for you. And during the game, we try to do the best to get the information we can, but there's so many things going on, we didn't have good information. And then it happened again, and I'm not really sure because you guys know better than me. I don't know that we've had a bad snap or two in my 8 years. And so we'll get to the bottom of it. And that's what disappointed me in that when I said I did not see that coming. And so we have to get that cleaned up. And I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm just saying it's my responsibility. As a head coach, I have to put players under pressure before the game. And the only thing I can think of is maybe the pressure got to them a little bit. And I'm responsible for that, and I'll get that cleaned up.
All right, last question, fourth row back. Raise your hand if you would. Name and affiliation.
Kyle Porter, CBS Sports. How does the young guys playing well, how does that change your expectations for what this team can accomplish this year?
Well, we have high expectations. I mentioned that early in the year. People ask questions about what direction our team's going, and the answer is that we have a few veteran players that understand, then there's a big gap, and then we have a lot of young kids that we think are good players that don't have a clue. So it's encouraging, and I go back to that they had a chance to back down, and nobody really would have said anything. I mean, the returning national champion comes to town, and guys got a little scared and backed down a little bit. Everybody would have said, well, that's okay, let's get ready to play next week. They didn't back down. So as a coach, then what we're instilling in them is working, in my opinion. The challenge for our guys is tomorrow, they got to go back to work to get ready for the next game. And in college football, those great victories, they don't last long. And then when you have a tough loss like this, they can't last long either because you got to get ready for the next one. So, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.